The year my grandson Mark was born, I decided to ride my bicycle across Canada. As it is now my duty to be a wise old man, I thought I'd better role model my values and show the little guy that the world is out there, outside, waiting to share with anyone willing to work for the experience. I believe the level of passion you bring to your life will be a measure of your happiness. I believe in the joy of travel, adventure, and discovery. When I was a boy, this joy was represented by a bicycle. I explored, discovered, and built my world all in the distance of a bicycle ride. I rediscovered the bicycle a few years ago, and now I can explore and discover in a grown-up distance, Canada, from coast to coast. And these discoveries, they are a cross-reference from my life to Mark's. As I approached 50 in his first year, this was me. This was Canada. I've heard it said that a man can consider himself successful if he's made 5 true friends in his lifetime. I think that's a great definition of success, and it means any crazy idea you come up with might be shared by one of these friends. Brent. Never leave home without him, the most prepared and responsible person I know. He was ready to attempt the journey, an unsupported 8,000-kilometer bicycle ride from Vancouver, my birthplace, to St. John's, my home. That's all you got to do. Do I look like the kind of guy that could ride a bicycle across Canada?
No, you don't. You don't.
I know. Why? Is it because I'm fat and old?
No. Well, no.
Do you think that I can make it across Canada on my bicycle?
Not really.
What did you think when I told you I was going to ride my bike across Canada?
I thought you were pretty crazy.
Are we what you'd expect from a cross-country cyclist?
Absolutely not.
Ken, what do you think of a couple of fat middle-aged men riding their bicycles across Canada?
Oh, it's a little on the crazy side, but everyone's different.
It had occurred to me that we might not make it. But even though it's more fun to win, it's more important not to be afraid to lose. Besides, if you don't challenge yourself, your stories will get really boring, a fatal flaw for a wise old man. So loaded with everything we thought we needed, we headed into the mountains.
Jeez, how far is it from Lytton to Kamloops?
5,000 kilometers.
Straight up a rock face.
Up a rock face. You know what makes us dumb? We had driven through these mountains 500 times.
Yeah.
500 times I've been through every one of these roads. And now, what made me possess me to think that I should ride a bicycle?
Got lost on the way, but you found the road again. Stay true to your friends, 'cause
Fast machines have made us think the world is small. Human-powered travel decompresses the planet, struggling up a hill, wondering how big the world felt to the surveyors who plotted the railway through these mountains. I felt small. I felt in awe of the wildness and size of the mountains, and I felt free, carrying all I needed, me on my bike, like a kid again. And this time I earned the view, and I really looked. Downhill to St. John's from here.
Oh man, we're in the middle of nowhere. I like it.
We were flying by the seat of our pants, struck by the unexplainable beauty of the mountains, falling exhausted into fast sleep beside frozen waterfalls and running rivers. I love propane. When the land opened up, it was harder to find places to camp. An abandoned house was perfect luck. But we wondered, what had happened? Whose dream was this, and where did it go? I like the prairies. They're like the sea with an openness that can unclutter your mind. No barricades for the forces of nature, and a beauty that comes only in searching out the details or in the simple composition of the horizon under a blue sky. I like the prairies, but it might just be because it's harder for anyone to sneak up on you.
It's odd that when you're going to go on a vacation this long, the first thing in my mind was, how am I going to keep beer cold?
You know, I hadn't thought of that.
I need a bun.
You need a bun?
No, I know that you also need. Don't kick over.
Oh man, I sat down on that, the air came out. Does my sleeping bag ever smell bad?
Oh my god.
There's a bun for you.
Doesn't get any more civilized. Look at, because we're doing this with only with basically a coffee press, one stainless steel cup, one pot, one spoon, one fork, one knife,
And a single burner stove.
and a single burner stove, and we're eating like pigs.
Yeah.
Yes, boy. Doesn't get any better than that.
Canada is a land of mountains. On the prairies, the mountains are made of wind, and if your luck is bad, you will ascend the mountain without rest for days. On the flatlands, we discovered the true challenge, working hard without reward. But if you let them, the smallest things will move you. A bathroom in a small town cafe decorated with the remaindered tiles from the 1960 NHL season. Players you've never heard of. Ted Williams, Bronco Horvath. But tucked in one corner, the lone goalie, like me, the Gumper. It made me feel like I belonged to something, connected me once again to my childhood. It made me feel like a Canadian, and that I was pushing the pedals watching my country go by.
What's the name of this place?
Don't know.
Alice?
We are at Riding Mountain National Park in Manitoba at the Moon Lake Campground. We're like the first people to camp here this year, and there's probably 6 cords of wood over there all junked, and I'm planning on stuffing them all in this firebox. And another thing that I'm doing tonight is I'm smoking my clothes dry. We ran into some amazing rain today, and we've been fighting headwinds for a long time, and actually we're really tired. But I have to dry my clothes for tomorrow, and the only way to do it is to hang them up above this fire, which unfortunately is showing us that the winds have once again turned into our faces.
Looks kind of like a barbecue ad.
Oh, it looks like heat. Fire is such amazing stuff, man. Totally primal. Here we are. I'm totally happy and satisfied now because that fire's going. To hell with everything else. I've got a fire. And tomorrow, I will have the stinkiest clothes in Manitoba. But they'll be dry.
It's always a privilege to see wildlife. They never seem as startled by a bicycle, as if it's okay for us to be there, wandering under our own power like them. But as much as I love to see them, I hate that they're near the road, some doomed to be a little bump for a transport truck. I worried less about dogs. At first they were startling, charging at us from the side of the road. But we soon realized that all the dogs that would chase us are already dead, trained by natural selection. All the way across the country, there was not one dog that did not stop short at his property line. Cycling across Canada is a rural endeavor. We made an effort to avoid the big cities and divided highways and have traveled back in time through forgotten roads and towns that are still towns and not strip malls. Towns that have a center, a general store, a corner coffee shop full of old farts, and a sassy waitress who knows all their names. These towns are dying everywhere, and I wonder what Canada will feel like when they're gone. A vast expanse of industrial farms, uninhabited most of the year, just dots on the old maps, represented by a blown-down barn or an abandoned gas station.
I pick my bones in North Ontario, in North Ontario.
I've now been exhausted at the end of every day for 4 weeks. I mean exhausted. Totally. And I'm laying here in the dirt. Because I just don't feel like moving, you know. I'm on a plastic, my sleeping bag in a plastic bag, so. I'm too tired to swat away the mosquitoes. This is a pretty neat spot. There's a couple of tractor trailers parked here. It looks like they've been here for a while. Of course, it could be going out tomorrow, who knows, but we'll probably be up early enough in the morning to beat any trucker anyway. Although these rigs look like they've been sitting here for quite a while. This actually isn't too bad a spot because we've got the trucks for shade, and the flatbed next door made a great workbench for cooking supper on. And Brent's been rotating the tires on his bike, putting the worn-out rear one on the front. I guess he prefers if the front one blows out. I don't know. Okay, at this moment right now, I'd say do this. Yeah, definitely do this. Man.
Of course there are risks. But what are the odds of a mechanical failure or driver error the exact moment we pass? It's happened, sure, but it's a calculated risk. Everything good in life involves risk. Asking out that girl in high school, trusting people, choosing a home, having a family. Facing your fears is your only hope to live the life you want instead of dreaming about it. It helps you follow your own path, to have a life well lived, to be an example for others, to have character. Without taking a calculated risk, I wouldn't be soaring along the Great Lakes on my bicycle, more carefree than I've ever been. When you're 50, Mark, will you be able to do a trip like this? Will you be able to get the time off work? Guys can be pretty busy at 50. Will traveling be allowed or even considered? People don't go on journeys now, they just go places. There's nothing in the getting there except the slight inconvenience of air travel. That's why human-powered travel and exploration are so important. It plants you on the ground, brings places together in a way that strengthens their connection, lets you really know the world you're living in.
So we're in this motel between Montreal River and Sault Ste. Marie, and this little motel is a real anachronism. It's obviously was built in the 60s. Check out this decor. They even have in the office this wood plaque, and it's a laminated picture of JFK. It's absolutely amazing. The place hasn't changed a whole lot. It's run down a little bit. And now these places are dying. There's empty motels all over the place, all along Superior here. They've been boarded up buildings, somebody's dream, now all gone. That part's been kind of sad, but it's still really very beautiful and kind of desolate at the same time. what age do you stop suddenly jumping into fresh, cold water to swim? I used to be known for jumping into extremely cold water to swim, and I haven't had that compulsion for, what, 30 years? Wisdom. Wisdom. I'm in here amongst the maples in the Canadian Shield in an attempt to get more than about 30 feet from the highway. The problem with cycling is you really don't go very far from the highway. I've become totally inured to the sound of semi-trailers, trucks, and I'm still enjoying the sounds of trains. Here I am in the Canadian woods among the maples, as far off the highway as I dare to get, so I don't really want to get lost. The Canadian Shield is kind of amazing because you can see it's almost like where the skin of the earth has been ripped off and the rocks show through. And those rocks, they go a long way. That's like Canada poking out. I love these maples. I bet you it's very, very pretty here in the fall. Don't believe anything he says. I'm a psychiatrist and he's out on a day pass.
Oh, yeah.
What was he telling you?
Yes. Look at him. Well, he's trying to tell me he's been 41 days on the road.
Yeah.
And, well, initially I believed him, only because he's got lines all over his hands from his gloves.
Look at the spots there.
Yeah.
Look, they have spots.
Yeah, I know. And you've got lines
Careful,
down here
it's
from your
contagious.
helmet. And I figured this man has been somewhere with all these lines and spots.
And look at this man and ask yourself, does he look like a doctor or a patient?
I got to hold on that one.
Here, I owe you $1. Not anymore. There, take that.
Thank you. What's
You
that
look
for?
like, actually, you look more like you've been on the road 41 days than your partner here.
Yeah, he can hardly walk, though.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed the knee there. But you obviously cut your own hair, I suppose, do you? Or do you get a haircut on the road, or?
No. I got this. Well, it sounds silly if I say it, but the last place I got my hair cut was in Arusha, Tanzania. It cost me $2.
We created our own suffering. I didn't have to be caught in the torrential rain on a bicycle, finding shelter in a park laundromat, but that suffering allowed me to look at the most simple warmth and shelter as paradise. Dry clothes and a bag of cookies like silver and gold. We created the challenge ourselves, arbitrary, maybe even unnecessary, but the feeling of appreciation for the simple things is something to carry over into every day. It's a miracle every time the hot water pours over me in the shower, and I think about where that water came from and where it's going. We created a situation in which happiness was as simple as our basic needs being met.
Okay, we've decided to launch our media careers here at the Cobden Sun after traveling the entire way across Canada. You're our first media outlet we have talked to.
Oh, super. Well, we'll carry the story next week.
Fantastic, and it's mostly because Brent's mother wants his picture in the paper.
As we headed into Quebec, I could feel the large mass of the country behind us and the dwindling distance ahead. There was the St. Lawrence, spilling out into the Atlantic, touching home, and the people of Quebec seemed the least surprised to see us. Of all the places in Canada, it felt like home, except in French. People who laugh easily and take things as they come.
You know, you're right, the fine for littering has come down to $100 in Quebec. Wasn't it $2,000 somewhere?
I don't know, could have been.
It should be
I
execution.
noticed in Ontario where it was 500.
500. I think you should cut off your fingers if you throw Tim Hortons cup out of your car. 1 finger per cup, maybe.
It was 200 closer to Ottawa. Right here it's down to 100.
I remember when I was a kid going to Expo 67, went to the old walled city and looked down on the plains of Abraham, and I was thinking, man, it's such a tiny little place. It's like a farmer's field for a place where the country was won and lost. It seems so tiny. Yeah.
Perhaps when we asked directions, the language barrier led us to this route. Bay St. Paul, St. Simon, incredible grades. But aren't hills the joy of cycling?
All right. I'll see you at the top.
Donald's came up the hill hard and hungry. Donald comes down the hill wild and angry. Donald will clear the goose that's cleverly. Here's to the king and Donald McGillivray. Come like a wee bog, Donald McGillivray. Come like a wee bog, Donald McGillivray. Balanced and fair and balanced and cleverly. Off with the counterfeit Donald McGillivray.
But you know what amazes me is the height here. You say it's 740 meters, it's 2,300 feet, almost 2,400 feet.
2,400-foot climb outside of the Rockies.
And all just in the last couple of hours.
Yeah, it's been steep. We are about to attempt the bicycle land speed record for a baguette.
But his father man, as he were born, straight way another man when he comes back. There's some will look merrily. Here's to King James and Donald McGillivray. Come like a wee bar, Donald McGillivray. Come like a wee bar, Donald McGillivray. Pack on your back, and he'll win so cleverly. He them and manager my Donald McGillivray.
Probably isn't rated for 70 kilometers an hour.
So what's Bob rated for again?
40. So we headed up to 71.
So we gotta hit 80 with Bob, man.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that, yeah.
Yeehaw! Donald McGillivray, come like a tailor, Donald McGillivray. Push it out, in and out, thimble and cleverly. Here's to King James and Donald McGillivray. Donald was mocked with papers and mocked her head. Donald was blinded by blades of property. Raised ran high, but makings were never mad. Lord, how Donald is fighting and fretting mad. Come like the devil, Donald McGillivray. Come like the devil, Donald McGillivray. Scale them and scold them and prove us him brutally. Off with King James and Donald McGillivray.
Minutes. What a speed run that was.
Yep. Well, I had this picture of coming down to the ferry dock and seeing it pull away and thinking, you know, I spent too long in the toilet this morning. It was like, okay, Doug said we had to be out by 10:30, and it was like 10:42 by the time we got away.
That's right. How many mosquitoes have you eaten so far?
Not that many, as opposed to the other night where I bit that one off my hand.
You know, bugs would be protein, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Why don't they take bugs and grind them up? They can make like Bug Whiz.
Bug
Whiz. It'd be like...
make Soylent Bug.
No, they can make that striated fake crab meat out of it. Just bleach it. You know, it's protein. Why don't we eat bugs?
Mostly because, well, they're bugs.
Yeah, but you make them into a nice paste and then flavor it up. You know, who's going to know they're bugs?
Well, you'd have to separate the guts from the carapace, you know?
Why? Isn't it all edible?
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
No, you grind them up, man. Whip them up. Put them in the processor. Make them a smoothie. Make a bug smoothie out of it. And then there's your protein. And just throw some flavor in. I mean, it can't be any worse than tofu.
There you may have a point.
I tell you, at the end of today, I'd eat bug sludge. Look what I'm eating. I eat bug sludge. I am eating bug sludge as a mosquito.
thing is, after cycling for 53 days,
Yep.
I'm not even interested in picking the bugs out of my food anymore. I mean, if they're in there, they just happen to be on the fork.
By New Brunswick, I felt my mood begin to shift. We had a long way to go, but the enormity of the journey was over. I started to think about what I had seen and if it meant anything at all. I know how big Canada is. I know the limits of my endurance. As you feel the end of an experience draw nearer, like the last night of a summer-long weekend, it's bittersweet to know such a beautiful thing can end.
It's threatening to rain like crazy, but it just isn't doing it. You cover your stuff up, though.
Yep. I'm just going to do that.
You know, it's too bad because this fire would be really great once it starts pouring rain. We should save it. We're not like a roaring blaze in the pouring rain. You can fool yourself into thinking you're comfortable. Oh, boy.
"70 days free from any worldly concerns other than staying dry and keeping food in my belly. I wanted to keep on riding. We had created a lifestyle. I'll be sad the first morning I do not ride. But we're already planning the next trip. Brent is now intent on walking across the country. I can't wait to go with him."
Slackers.
How beautiful and diverse is this country. I will not rest until I've seen all of it. Maybe you'll come with me, Mark. Maybe my luck will hold and we'll have many adventures together. Either way, if I end up under the wheels of a transport truck today, I'll die one of the luckiest men who ever lived. And I'll go with my boots on. Be smart, but don't be afraid. For some reason, I'm proud. Getting on the boat to Newfoundland, I felt like a conquering hero. I like saying I'm going to do something and actually doing it, and now I feel like I can do anything. If something like this was possible, what other things can I accomplish? What other ideas have I left simmer too long?
An announcement will advise you when to return to your vehicle. Thank you.
You only got to love me. That's all you got to do. Only got to love me. That's all you got to do. You really gotta hold on me. I really got to hold you. Only got to hold on. That's all we got.
So it's almost over. Home. Riding familiar roads, and already looking for new ones. What did I learn? The head and the heart can be trained, but your rear end has a mind of its own. Don't take things too seriously.
For a more complete story of the beaver, why not contact the Canadian Wildlife Foundation, 56 Spark Street in Ottawa.
Down. You do fast, you gotta slow down and let the moment pass. You work too hard, you know it is true. You gotta slow down and take some time for you.
So that's a whiskey sour and a gimlet?
The whiskey sour and gimlet. Those are our celebratory riding across Canada drinks.
Thank you.